All right. Thanks for joining us here. This is Game 2, Worlds 2018. Both these players won their first matchup. Um, and we will get this one started shortly. How's everybody doing out there? Give me some Twitch chat if you're there.
Is my mic on? Can everybody hear me now?
Yeah,
We good to go? We live?
everything should be
Welcome back
live
to
from New York. It's
Star
Saturday
Wars
night.
CCG World Championship 2018.
Yeah, yo.
Getting ready to get game 2 underway here. Getting the decks cut.
Yep, we are off and running. So we
Handshake.
have another AOBS without starting according to my design.
Against the throne room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a tech that a lot of agents have been cutting lately. Haven't been seeing too much of the, according to my design, optional start.
Interesting.
Although you never know with Tom Hayden.
We got
what
a
he's
nice
doing.
hand. We got a Joe Olson is showing us. He got a Wisa. He has an Abram in there. So Joe Olson not running. Joe Olson's running the farm puller, not the docking base for his throne room. So
Okay.
This must be a
A little
different
bit
version
different.
of throne
Yeah.
room. Well, different.
Different effect than last game.
Imperial Decree.
He's got Imperial Decree, which I imagine is mostly in there for
And Hayes
In last
Coruscant
matchups?
is the virtual Coruscant.
Yes, and we are running the usual course that you're used to. That adds the icons.
Yeah, that last build of AOBS we saw was definitely a little bit quirky compared to what we've seen at like Worlds and Nats and stuff, or not Worlds, at Euros and Nats recently. Joe's third effect, he's got Walkling, like my father before me, and the Farm Puller.
I must be allowed to speak. That is right in the glare. What is that he put down there?
That was the Boss Nash Chambers, I believe, that he pulled with. There's the farm.
Farm from reserve. Getting that activation off the ground.
So pretty good start for Joe, getting his at least the Boss Nash Chambers and the farm.
We can see in his reserve deck here.
Cornhorn, Anakin.
Peas,
I did see a ship. That was a
Control combo is an interesting one.
okay.
Cancel that Shizor's bounty.
Yeah, if you can get your JCC out, you can use that to pull Yoda. Use Yoda to pull the control tunnel vision, and then you're kind of set up against the bounty. But doesn't look like he got the JCC puller in his opening draw.
Well, you can't win them all.
Yeah. Yeah, Decree V is started. Yeah, I've seen that one be played a little bit more often in these AOBS decks because of the no idea deck that does direct damage. The Prophet matchup is also very hard for and WAP are all very hard for AOBS.
All of those matchups. And I think he just starts it mostly because he doesn't have any other effects he really wants to set up against.
And the alternate text on Decree sometimes gets forgot about. You can just place it out of play to draw a Battle Destiny if unable to otherwise.
Dr. Afra who doesn't draw.
Yeah.
All the characters.
So I think Decree is a pretty
Yeah, he'll definitely get some use out of that text in this game. I'm sure we will see that come into play. Well, I'm not sure, but yes.
Yeah, see, these players are realizing with our new camera setup, we have a much bigger play surface for them, so they can expand. Yeah, you don't have to cram everything into.
Constrained by 2x4s and PVC.
Yeah. So yeah, this is our first time with a pretty new setup here at Worlds in terms of streaming. We got a new camera, new tech stuff that we're kind of get going. So if there's any weird stuff, just yell at me later.
Yeah, any feedback you guys have, we will certainly take into consideration. So, Emperor comes down to the Imperial Square
Pretty predictable.
for free. No Professor Shield played by Tom, or Joe rather, I'm sorry.
Picture's looking good? All right, good to hear. Thanks, boys. We have a little bit of glare, but I think that's mainly just because there's like this sun in the world that provides us with light. And
Emperor picks a Force Lightning up out of the deck into Tom Hade's hand.
Hade plays a drop and drain style of ABS with the cover of Imperial Decree. Yeah, I mean, maybe it allows him to play a little more aggressively for sure, because he can always, get that Battle Destiny if unable to otherwise. Yeah, and with Tom Hade, I'm surprised we haven't seen like 18 Vigos or,
Tom Hade is searching his reserve deck again.
like Tom Hade is just playing meta decks instead of Court Troopers or ISB Spice Mines.
Tom Hade pulls a Gick non-combo with the Masterful Move combo, and he also pulls out a Vigo with the Imperial City game text. Spends a force to consolidate the Emperor over there at the city.
All right. So he's still at the non-battleground Coruscant site. So he hasn't flipped his objective or anything. Oh yeah, these things do. It's just the volume that you hear at. I don't think it actually adjusts the.
So we got another reserve deck search from Tom, looking for
Hey,
his
okay.
Atlas.
Make sure, Jan, that your button isn't pressed on your thing. Mine apparently was. Yeah,
If it's pressed or
there you go.
not.
Yeah, you don't want it to be flashing. Hey, sorry about that, guys. Our microphones were set weird. Can you hear us now?
Oh.
Out there, Twitch chat. Twitch chat, can you hear me?
I mean, your microphone is reading on the thing now.
Yeah.
Oh, and so is mine. Looks like we're good.
Yeah, I think so.
Sorry, I think the microphones got muted there somehow.
Everything's good? Okay. Thank you.
Sorry about that confusion.
So
I'm
yeah,
not good at this technology stuff.
Yeah, I try to mute them in between games so that way they don't pick up random chatter, but I think we might have forgotten to. Alright, so we've got Tom as the AOBS player and Joe as TRM. It's Tom's turn, his second turn. Joe used his first turn to play some activation and his second turn to draw cards.
Yep.
He still has
got a whole bunch of red cards in that
one Luke.
hand.
I'm pretty sure that card there is Luke.
Yeah, looks like another Luke and a Lando off on the right side there, maybe.
Alright, now up to 27 viewers on Twitch chat.
Anyways,
Thanks,
so-
guys. Thanks for joining us today. This is Jerry and Jan bringing you World's Commentary Game 2.
Yeah. And so far, it's Tom Hayde's second turn. He's used one force to pull Shizar's Palace and used the Palace to pull another Shizar's Palace site, probably the sewer, but it's right in the middle of our glare, so it's a little hard to say. And he is contemplating his deploy phase right now.
He's got Shizor, Avigo, and the Emperor at
Correct.
the Coruscant site.
Yeah, Throne Room's pretty good, and also I think it has a fighting chance against Agents, so I think you're going to see a lot of Throne Room today, just because it's got a good matchup against Agents, and the rest of the field, too, always gives you a fighting chance.
Yeah, if you play Throne Room well, you have a chance against a lot of decks. You get a little bit of luck with some activation early.
It's also a very versatile deck that you can tech your build towards whatever you need to, based on your perception of the meta.
And for those of you who haven't seen yet, Tom Hayde is wearing his Rebel flight suit again today.
Yeah, you'll see those orange sleeves.
Looks like Tom Hayes just drawing cards. I think he's content to sort of wait this
Yeah,
out.
these guys are playing this game pretty conservatively.
Like,
Quite a change of pace from the last game we watched.
yeah. So, I mean, Throne Room always plays a reactive style. And the Darkside player hasn't given him anything to react to, really. He can't.
Yeah, he's still sitting at that non-battleground,
He's going to play the Jedi Council Chamber Puller.
which
And
is
he's
getting
gonna try to sense it.
sensed, a combo sense.
But he did. Okay, I guess he
draws-
does have the
yep.
Emperor out, so that's
The
fine.
sense succeeds. The Do or Do Not shield is in play, so that card's going to go lost, +2 force. I don't expect Joe is going to think about grabbing the sense either, though. That would be too much. I think just having it lost is enough. Save that grabber for something more.
Yeah, because, I mean, Joe might even run his own senses that he is planning to
It
use.
seems unlikely if he's putting out Do or Do Not, but you never know. Although he was deck building with Hayes, so
Yeah.
they could be running very similar builds.
Yeah.
with lots of senses.
So he pulls Luke from hand and goes for a lightsaber. Lightsaber's in reserve. I think that both of them are.
So I just save it, go to new for the. You want one of these guys?
Huh?
You want one of these guys?
Yeah. I think we would probably. Out of these two, because like this is the same matchup that we had in the last game. So maybe Joel Olson's light side. Since we got the dark side one from the other one. Or you did light side. Okay, so let's do the dark side one. Yeah, Tom Hayes dark, yeah.
So Joe, the first player going to a battleground here, comes down with Luke, his lightsaber, and backs him up with Anakin Skywalker, Padawan learner. Looks like Tom Hayes just cycled a Force Lightning used.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps trying to track that around for an upcoming battle.
Yeah, Tom Hayes usually does have something unusual, so it is a little.
Yeah,
surprising to
I'm
see.
very curious to see what's going on here, especially with that combo sense.
Yeah, the sense of uncertain in the future allows you to allows both players to redraw their hands. Maybe he's planning on using it to get rid of people's Hoojixes, or I don't know.
Only time will tell.
Yep. Stay tuned.
So we'll see how Tom reacts to this amount of pressure being applied by Joe, moving to his battleground,
So
deploying
he's
to
got
his battleground.
Anakin, and Luke with lightsaber.
Yep.
So that's a pretty good character.
We can definitely
And-
see
and
some
Joe
characters in
Joe has
Tom's
so
hand.
many interrupts.
Yeah, his hand is just like all red cards, and we can see a little bit of Tom's hand there too. He's
I see
got
the
some
sights,
red, but also a
few
lot of
characters.
characters.
Yeah, Joe's hand looks like it's just chock full of interrupts.
All right, so that looks like the third Shizor's Palace site coming down.
That was in his hand.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Coruscant's got 5 locations at it. Did Joe play the Wisa last turn, or did he just peel it to
What do you mean?
the speak rather?
The speak was canceled by the sense.
Oh right, he sensed it. That's right. I was like, man, where's the JCC?
See, this one was just printed right from GIMP, so it doesn't organize it the way that a player might, Starting stuff is going to be Agents of Black Sun is the objective.
All right, so Tom Hayes
That's what we want
responds to
first.
to
Yeah,
Joe
Agents of
Olson's
Black-
characters
sorry,
by
the one that you
deploying
don't
a
want
U3PO
is,
undercover to block the
knowledge
drain.
and defense. So anger, fear, aggression, and knowledge and defense. Those are the same one for each side, and those ones we don't need on the.
However, he's still going to have to deal with that site eventually, otherwise his character is just going to be stuck in a non-battleground all game.
So we got U3PO again.
Yep, so Hayes just goes with a U3PO and starts drawing some more cards.
Okay.
So Joe is in his activate phase, counting up his force. What do we got? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
For Joe.
Yeah, for Joe, 10 force. 3
So,
from
yeah, he didn't get the
3
JCC
from
out.
Coruscant,
That was-
5 from his locations, 1 from Walkling, 1 for himself.
So it's the Shizor Palace sites. It's all 3 of them. The sites on Coruscant.
So Nick is asking about Coruscant. Coruscant's got all 3 Shizor's Palace sites, and then it's got the Imperial City and the Imperial Square.
Yeah, so from left to right, it goes sewer, uplink station, palace, the one that you start, the Imperial City, and then the Imperial Square.
Correct.
And now the JCC comes out.
That speak goes through. So Joe Olson is now activating 13 a turn by my count.
Yep.
And he's also got the option to add more to his force pile with Like My Father Before Me once per turn. Yeah, we tried fixing that glare. I apologize for it. There's just
Not much you can do about some of it. We did as best we could with what we was really only in area right in the middle, but everywhere else around it is pretty good.
Yeah, and then the locations off on the left there are the throne room, boss nest chambers, and the Tatooine moisture farm.
Yes, it's yeah, Tat Farm, Yavin Fourth Throne Room, and the Boss Snatch Chambers are the. Yeah, and that light even has a cover over it to make it not as bright, and it's still glaring that hard. So we tried covering it, turning them off, turning different ways, covering them up with different shit, and it's still we were
Man,
hitting
are we
glare.
getting just another draw turn?
I think he's just drawing.
I mean, we know Joe doesn't have a lot of characters in his hand.
But we assume with all those interrupts he would have had something to worry about this U3PO, but U3PO hangs on to die another day. I would have thought for sure he had a sorry about the mess.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah, if he does have one, he's choosing to save it. He's got a control tunnel vision in his hand. That's handy.
Control tunnel vision could turn into sorry about the mess or
It
Horn
could,
Horn
or you
next
could
turn.
just hold on to it to cancel the
The
Shizor's
Shizor's
bounty that you
bounty.
know he's got in his hand.
And that is Balatik, I believe that card is called.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Balatik is a character came out in set 9. He is like an information broker, smuggler kind of guy.
Oh, is he the one that cancels
He
Han's
cancels
text?
Han's game text and also makes it at opponent's site. You can't cancel or modify force strains, I believe is his game text. A little bit? It's about the same. That's why I like
we
with
tried that.
Shades open,
Tried the
shades
shades
closed.
earlier. It didn't really do much.
Yeah, it seems about the same. It's because of these overhead lamps. I want them to be able to see. I think he just makes it so he can't add Battle Destinies or playing interrupts. So he basically cancels Han's game text.
Right.
He doesn't
does not
cancel every Han's
actually
game text.
cancel
He
Han's
just
game
cancels
text.
Solo's game text, basically, is what he would say. Which one? No, it should be. It's definitely in there. You're on light side. Switch to dark side. Then there she goes.
All right.
So Haid stacked the farm with Balatik, Cad Bane, and Jodocast. And like I said, Balatik makes it so he can't cancel those
Yep,
drains.
so Balatik is power 4 ability 2. While with Han, he may not add Battle Destiny draws or play an interrupt from Lost Pile. While at opponent's battleground, opponent may not cancel or reduce your force drains here.
And he is at the opponent's battleground.
He
He's at the
sure
farm.
is, Jerry. He sure is.
So. Yeah, I guess he would suspend.
There's
The-
lots of Hans at Battle Destiny,
Yeah.
including HCF. I think he cancels that Battle Destiny ad too.
Yeah, it would cancel Han Chewie in the Falcon because that's
So he's
on.
definitely got some uses besides just solo. Okay, so here comes Corrin Horn to deal
Horn
with
Horn's
the
gonna deal with the
U3PO.
U3PO, so we can start getting that force strain going through. One thing I also know that Joe Olson has the Nabram leads in hand,
Yep,
so he could also try to
definitely
do something
something
with
to
that.
keep in mind. But we also know Tom Hade's running Sense, so
Yep. So here comes Qui-Gon with lightsaber to the farm, maybe. He was there for a brief
I
second.
think we were just making sure we spent the right force.
Okay, there he is. And now he's going to get
Shizor's
Shizor
bounty, which
and it's
is
going to get control
promptly
television.
controlled. We'll see if Tom's got a sense for the control. I'm very curious how many of those sense combos Tom is running.
Yeah.
Because I've been asking people about what they think the right number of senses is in agents, and I've gotten a lot of varying results. Some people say 2, some people say
They don't
5,
want us to have
but
this.
most numbers seem to fall in that range, the 2 to 3. I mean, there's a few extremists say 5. But that sense is successful, so sense is going to be lost, and Tom is going to lose 1 card only to There Is No Try because of Imperial Decree. So perhaps that was part of his motivation in starting that card, is just to lessen the pain from Do or Do Not / There Is No Try. I forget what the name of that card is. It's one of the 2, though.
I think for light side it's do or do not.
Lando joins the party at the farm, and
He's gonna
triggers a use pile search with
use the
I must
farm
be
card.
allowed to speak.
So he's got Leia. Putting Leia there would actually blank his ability, wouldn't it? Because he's got no droids or none. Yeah.
Yep, Leia would definitely turn off
I don't know
that
if he has
sight.
enough to deploy Leia.
Yeah, he's got to be getting pretty low on force. Looks like maybe
After
4
putting
or
Qui-Gon
5
and
down.
Mando out,
Yeah,
that's 12 force
and
right
Corrin
there.
this turn as well came
Oh,
down,
right,
so he's
yeah.
already spent.
16 force this
Yeah,
time.
I'm sure he had a bit saved from those turns he's
Yeah,
been
yeah,
drawing,
yeah.
but like I said, it looks to me like about 3 cards in force pile for him. Did we see what he grabbed? Did he
I
pick
think
up,
he's
pick up Padme?
still,
He's still deciding.
actually deciding. You think he took another look at his hand?
He's got, was that evac control, I think,
Looked
maybe?
like evac control.
I think he pulled an evac control for his use pile pull.
He's just
And
gonna
yeah,
play
it was, and he's just going, not even going to mix it in his hand to try and throw his opponent off. Like, maybe I pulled something else, and this is already in my hand. That's one thing I like to do when I'm pulling a card with a, flipped QMC or tunnel
Control
vision,
tunnel
whatever.
vision,
You put it in your hand, even going to play it, just put it in your hand, then mix it around a little bit, then you play it, so your opponent doesn't know that you pulled it out of your pile and played it, which I don't know what information they'd gain out of that, but smart guy like
Certainly
Tom
does.
might
Certainly
be
does
able to
throw off the-
glean a fact or two. It's the little things in this game, you know.
Totally. This game is built upon the little things.
What's that bottom card stacked there? Can you tell? Is that they're tracking us?
So we've got a control tunnel vision, a they're tracking us, and a speak with the Jedi Council chamber. I'm pretty sure.
And then looks like he searched for a docking bay to check his destinies
He
out.
doesn't run the docking bay puller.
Oh,
so
right. So he searched for something, though.
He was searching for maybe Boss Nass, or
Yeah, maybe his once per game Boss Nass
yeah.
search or his Yoda search.
he doesn't run the docking bay puller. So because that's why he has the Naberman hand.
Right, right. Got confused with the last game.
Yeah, next game I will make sure that we have 2 different decks. No matter if I have to go down the ladder a little bit for the feature match.
We're not going
I
to see
will-
Agent's first
we
throne
will
room
do
3
a
times in a
different-
row.
We will do a different matchup for sure. Because
So I think we're in the move phase now, and Corrin Horn has just broken the cover of
so now
U3PO.
Lightside has a fancy new droid they can use.
Joe decided not to battle since Qui-Gon's not able to participate because the control got sensed. The control on Cheetor's bounty got sensed, so the bounty did go through. Looks like Tom is cycling
Using-
another Force Lightning, probably
Yeah.
setting up some destinies.
This is already a far different game than the last one. Yes.
Oh yeah, from turn 2 it was a completely different game.
Yes, this is quite the different game, even though it is the same matchup. So.
And I think part of that has to do with the fact that these are different builds the players are using.
Yeah.
I expect Joe's build of TRM is more similar to Hayes' TRM than Tom's Agents is to Reed's Agents.
Yeah, especially like just the starting cards were
Yeah.
different for Reeds. We had the different system, a different starting effect with Crush the Rebellion, and just a different game plan in general with not pulling. His
Yeah, I
face
mean,
and
Tom stayed at his non-battleground. He's still there, whereas Reed just hopped right out
Reed
to the
went first
Palace
turn.
turn 1 with three Vigos.
yeah,
So I think these 2 Agents decks were designed to play very differently.
yeah. Maybe Reeds was meant to play aggressive, and this one was meant to play more control style.
I'm not sure what Joe just lost to Force for. But he peeled...
Shadows, or no, I guess it wouldn't be Shadows.
No.
Um,
Peeled a Jin for something.
yeah, that's interesting. Dark Time.
Dark
for the
Time.
Rebellion.
Okay, yeah, sorry, I missed that.
Yeah, I didn't see that either. Thanks, Nick.
So yeah, that's just another interrupt that Tom was cycling in his draw phase.
And
I believe trying to set up some destinies.
Yeah, so I mean that's a card as the throne room player that you often end up are forced to grab just because it does that extra damage to you as the throne room player. So
But Joe opted not to.
interesting not to grab. I mean, there are other cards you want to grab in this matchup.
Alright, so Tom deploys Tarkin's bounty on the Emperor, which I believe most players are just using exclusively for that Force Pile search on a Destiny 5 card. It's like almost like having another copy of Force Push in your deck.
Yeah, and especially like this version can't run Tarkin. This deck, if you run Tarkin, it does have some alternate text where if you play Tarkin's Bounty on Tarkin, you can look at the top
Right.
of any reserve deck. But yeah, the Bounty is just used because it's a fourth
It's a
pile.
Destiny 5 tunnel vision.
It's a Destiny 5 tunnel vision. Yep.
So I think we're going to see some action from Tom here. We saw him play those interrupts in Joe's draw phase, so we know he's got some Destiny set up in his reserve.
Yeah, we can tell his
and
reserve
he's
deck is where he wants
digging.
it to be.
He played that Tarkin's Bounty this turn for a reason. He knows what he wants with it.
Joe's playing
see.
an all wings report in Dark Lighter Spin combo to go grab a ship. I think that's an all wings combo, yeah.
It does look a lot like one. It's not something you see in Throne Room too often.
I've played it here and there. Depends on what your space package
Pulling the
is.
Falcon.
Or like R2D2 and Red 5.
Maybe he just uses it for the spin part of it to get around Justice if he needs to.
Did that card get grabbed? No.
No, did not get grabbed, but he is doing a reserve deck verify. Did not find any unpiloted unique starfighters.
Alright.
Very curious to see how Tom plays this turn.
Yeah, this will be an interesting turn for Tom.
Looks like he's asking.
For a power count at that site. That was a reserve deck, right? So was that the Force Lightning, the IG-88, and the Forlom? Is that what I saw in the 3-card reserve deck?
Yeah, it was Force Lightning, IG-88, and I missed the third one.
Yeah.
So he didn't use those interrupts he was stacking. I guess the Force Lightning's there.
Force Lightning's there. That's the droid,
Daro.
Duro. So we've got at the farm, it's Balatik, Cad Bane, Jodocast, IG-88, and Duro. It is the world.
And I think I just saw one force spent, presumably for initiating a battle.
Yeah, Jodocast. So we got another hidden weapons character. I have seen him being cut from.
Jodo Cast is actually pretty good in this situation because he can cancel one of the Destiny draws, right? If,
Yeah,
the-
he
if
says
light
if
side
you draw
draws more
two,
than one
yeah, if you
Destiny,
draw more than
he
one
can
Destiny,
cancel
you
one
can
of them.
cancel one. And he also put Zam Wessel down.
Sam Wessel.
So this is a hugely stacked site. So yeah, it's a stacked dark side against Qui-Gon and Lando. We haven't seen the battle yet, but we will here in a moment, I'm guessing. Oh, and Boba Fett Bounty Hunter. He is
Oh
going
my.
all in on this battle right here.
Well, I'm sure Tom's got some Ellises of his own too.
Yeah. So we've got Boba Fett Bounty Hunter, Zam Wessel, IG-88 with Riot Gun, Duro, Jodo Cass, Cad Bane, and Balatik all at the same site. And then battle. So he's going to try to capture Lando, maybe? With IG-88? He retrieved the Jyn Urso when Lando was
Right.
battled against.
Retrieve with Lando's text, add it to his power.
So he captured the Lando. So it's going to be the world against Qui-Gon.
Yep. And he
Does Joe have
opts
the
to put
Hoojix?
Lando in the use pile instead of escorting him.
Okay.
Just that way you don't risk Qui-Gon hitting your escort and
Sorry
Lando
about the
coming
mess,
back.
and-
Yeah. It's generally just safer to throw him in the use pile.
So if Joe has the Hoojix, he'll
I-
should be
I-
alright, but
Does
he's going to take a control tunnel vision off of evacuation control.
yeah. I mean that'll
It's a good
that'll
card.
stop the Destinies. I think we saw Tom only had 2 Destinies in his deck anyways.
Yeah, I think he only had. He took the IG-88 out with Duro from the reserve
Right,
deck.
right.
So he only has, I believe, it's a Forlom. Is the Destiny he has only one
Yeah,
card
it's a 4 or maybe it's that Dark Time.
or Dark Time? Yeah, it's one of those cards. So I mean, it's going to be a lot of power for dark side. Qui-Gon is going to swing at Cad Bane.
Hits him with a couple of Destiny 5 interrupts.
So Cad Bane will be lost. Qui-Gon will be lost.
Yeah, so let's see. What do we think Tom's power is here? We got 4 from
7.
Johto, 4 from the Balatique, that's 8. Daro is
4
2,
from Cad
makes
Bane.
10. Cad Bane
14.
is 14. IG88's 5, 19. Zam is 4, 23. And
And
Boba
another set,
Fett's
so 30.
7, so that's 30. But then Cad Bane makes all other bounty hunters power plus 1, so that's an additional 4 power. So I'm counting Tom's power at around 35, plus he drew 2 destinies there. We were both right. It was, oh, okay, no, he played the Dark Time as an interrupt to modify Joe's destiny, and it was 4 Alam was his draw. So
Alam was
I'm
the-
counting Tom's power around 35.
Okay.
Did you see what Joe's battle destiny was?
I did not.
Whatever it was, it's -1. So
I don't think he's drawn it yet. I know maybe he has. Okay.
man, I don't think Joe has the Hoojiks.
I don't think he does either.
I think he just peeled a card.
He peeled a card.
Yeah. So even if he drew a 6,
You could
minus
also
1,
peel a
like-
card and then still Hoojigs.
Yeah, but that doesn't make any sense.
If he wants to try to see what Tom is going to forfeit, but I don't know. Yeah, it can't be -1 because he did pull a card off. You got
Right,
control,
right. So I think we're looking at something like 35 to 10 as far as power goes here. So even
Yeah,
even with Qui-Gon's 8 forfeit value.
Yeah, so he might still have the Hoojigs because that card was probably the card he lost for the Dark Time.
Okay.
Right?
Right. So why did Tom play at Dark Time then if he couldn't modify the Battle Destiny draw? What was he doing with it? Activating a force?
Maybe he was activating
That,
a force.
that doesn't make any
or-
sense either though, because he wanted to draw that Destiny.
Yeah, I don't know. Tom played Dark Time to minus Padme? What Padme?
All right, so Qui-Gon died, so Tom's taking a peek at Joe's hand right now.
So Nuiz has got the Nabram. That's always good to know that your opponent has. That's
The real
instant.
question is, did he see a Hoojiks in there? 'Cause I don't see one. I know I saw one in his reserve deck earlier, but I don't think it's in his hands.
Yeah, I see a Lisa.
Oof.
This is going to be a lot of overflow.
Yeah, it's. I think at least 10, maybe even like 15 to 17
Qui-Gon
overflow.
forfeits for how much?
Qui-Gon's 8. I didn't see what his Battle Destiny draw was, so I don't know what the light side's power.
We were
but-
guessing around 10. Let's say it's 10. And
Yeah,
forfeits, so it's
10 to
18,
35 though.
18 to 35 in terms of like
Yeah,
forfeit
that's
value.
like 17 force, man.
But he's just peeling. Man, look at those cards. They're just gone.
5, that's 6, 7 is what I'm counting.
8.
Man, that's gotta hurt.
It looked like 14, 15, 16, 17.
Was it 17?
I think if your count from the start was correct, I just
Yeah, I mean
assumed from
that's
there.
about what we were guessing was 17
So
force loss
17
there.
overflow.
Man, that's really
For
gotta
Joe.
put him in a bad spot.
And he lost his battle, his farm.
I mean, he's still got Caesar's Palace going for him though, and he can force drain there now,
Yep.
thanks to Corin Horn. So yeah, it was a Padme that Joe drew for Destiny. Thanks, Nick.
Okay.
But yeah, that was a pretty rough battle.
So what else did Hade have to forfeit besides Cad Bane? Zam Wessel, maybe? Or not? Card looks like it's still
No,
there.
Zam's still there.
Maybe not so different than last game. Well, Light Side won the first one. This one looks like Dark Side's taking it to him so far. So
Tom puts out a Secret Plan shield and a Battle Order shield.
yeah, both sides did have beatdowns. There was a 10 and then a 14. in that first game. We'll see if Joe Olson can get. Maybe he can do like a Nabram thing where he goes at
Yeah,
the,
Nabron could do something.
you know, Nabram to the city, beat up Shizor and the Emperor.
Yeah, he's not. I mean, he's gonna be in a tough spot though, because Tom's already solidly at. Well, I guess presence of the force would be really good for Tom. Tom needs to get on 3 battlegrounds and start grinding Joe down.
yeah.
Like if
'Cause you
if he
already-
can get 8 Shadows of the Empire online, like I don't think Joe has the life force to withstand that slow grind,
that
that
grindy
pressure
death.
it's gonna put on.
Because you have to pay 3 to drain, but it is a drain of 3. Or is it just 2? Lightsaber.
Should be 3 with the lightsaber, right? Man, I can't see that card.
Yeah, I think it's a Ray.
Looks like a Max Rebo to me.
Maybe not, yeah. If it was Ray, he would have got some out of his use pile. Yeah, I have no idea what that card was.
Alright, so
Cassian,
Joe's splitting up his forces a little bit. I mean, Tom did just drop about 6 characters out of his hand, so you gotta question if he's got more in there, but I wouldn't doubt him.
Yeah, I mean, he did play a lot of characters at that site.
Still, there's plenty of guys he could still have left. Bosk, P59, Probot, Guri,
Yeah.
Dengar,
So Jasper.
Jasper, yeah. What's the blue guy's name? Not
Cad
Cad
Bane?
Bane, but
Oh.
the other Duros guy, the pilot, Baniskeg.
Oh, Baniskeg,
Yeah, there's. Okay, so Tom is going to space here. Like I said, I think he's maybe trying to set up his shadows. Playing the Phalian's Fist is also good because it gives his characters somewhere to go. Like right now, his characters are stuck at a non-battleground. The only way to get to a battleground is to walk out in front of Joe's guys, which is not something you really want to do.
Yeah.
So now he can shuttle his characters up to the system instead. Turn his icons on at the system, get on a second battleground,
And then, yeah,
and potentially
satisfy
either
battle
this
plan.
turn or next turn go to the sewers for his 3rd battleground and
You gotta
maybe
think
shuttle some
Joe's
guys
gonna
down.
wanna Try to not let him take over the sewers, but we'll see. Yeah, that 17 overflow's got to have Joe just like wondering how he's gonna get.
And maybe Tom doesn't even need to get shadows online. If he can just be at a site in a system training for 1 and 2, Joe's life force is low enough that I think Tom can win drain races at this point.
Yeah.
Sounds like they're discussing something out there, but I can only speculate as to what.
Right.
We're still in.
Speculating myself some lunch here soon.
Yes, I might be doing some lunch prospecting as well. We're still in Tom Hayes' deploy phase at the moment, though. He's
Yeah.
got the Phalian's Fist down, and he's contemplating what else he wants to put into play this turn.
If you're out there, Twitch, people, send us a pizza. We're hungry. You see the AI you got?
Yeah, I did see that.
Sweet.
Got a neat little foil Chirrut Imwe AI they were giving out for all the participants here today.
And those ones were for the winners of over the summer events.
Oh, is that what it
Like-
was?
it's
Okay.
like one Colorado States.
Well, good job. I just saw a big stack of them and thought
Yeah.
it was for everybody.
I think they're giving out General Kenobis to everybody. I think. Not sure though.
Nick's gonna mail us a pizza from Texas.
Thank you, sir. Make sure you
So-
put a rush on that.
Tom has deployed a character onto the Phalian's Fist. Difficult to say who. Somebody with a very short name.
Bosk.
Probably Bosk. Maybe Guri.
Yeah, he couldn't shuttle back down to the sewer, but at least the only place that he couldn't move to would be where Luke and stuff is.
Yeah.
He could move up to the ship.
He's drawing some cards, so he opted not to go with the shuttling plan that I was discussing. He's keeping his guys just
So
sitting
now
there.
he does have shadows though.
No, he needs to be on 3 battlegrounds.
Oh,
He's
right,
not
right,
on the
right.
battleground.
Right,
Presence of the Force would do it,
Presence of the Force is the card.
which who knows if he runs it or not. It seems to be pretty standard in a lot of agents decks.
But he's not running the Crush the Rebellion, so I'm a little less
Yeah,
sure
that's true.
that he has it.
Crush the Rebellion, of course, cancels Clash of Sabers by losing a force, and Clash of Sabers directly counters Presence of the Force. It just says cancel Presence of the Force. So
Yeah.
those two cards often you see in deck lists together.
All right, so he's going with Ray to the sewer now, because like I said, that sewer was the only site that Tom still had left that he could maybe go to. So Joe's going to try to take that site.
Yeah, but Tom is in the situation now where he can play a guy just to attack one of Joe's sites and just causes ping for just playing a guy. He's got
That's
two
true.
battlegrounds now. I
That's
don't
true.
think Joe is going to be able to challenge the system or that stack of 5 characters at the farm. So from here on out, I think we're just going to see Tom Haid doing some
Yeah.
hit and run kind of
The
plays,
only way that
attacking Joe where he's
attacks the
weakest,
farm
causing
is with the
damage.
Nabram leads.
Yeah. Neighbor leads is an option. You're right, of
But
course.
he's
There.
just moving and consolidating.
Yeah, this is a. I mean, Joe's doing what he can, but I'm not sure where this game plan's going to get him.
With taking 17 overflow in a battle, you're already so far behind that you had to keep doing damage.
So
and-
Tom Haid pops out his firepower shield.
Yep.
Gets a retrieval for that since
Deployed a
Ray
card with
was
ability.
deployed and no battles were initiated. So Tom is initiating and drain a 2 at the farm. Double checking on Balatik's text. Can't be
Joe
canceled
has
or
the
modified.
control tunnel vision in hand. He could cancel the force
Oh,
drain.
also that's the virtual farm, right? Which is drain -1,
Yeah.
unless there's Vader or a Stormtrooper there or something. But I believe Balatik says that doesn't work because you can't modify your force drains at opponent's location.
True.
So Balatik makes the farm a drain 2.
Politique does get around the farm and makes it so you can't cancel it too. With that control tunnel vision
Yeah.
or something. So yeah, Politique. There you go. There's some cool tech from Tom
Who
Haid.
needs Darth Vader
Might
when
not.
you got Balatik?
Right? The super old version of the firepower weapons.
Oh, the one that was,
were
like,
crazy. Yeah.
8 lines long.
It was 3 paragraphs. Or when Crick Draw made all your
Well,
lightsabers
Nick's,
Destiny +2.
Nick's a lawyer, I think, so he likes lots of text.
I think that one was changed just before I started playing again. So I
Yeah,
don't think I ever
that
got
was
to
in one of the
experience-
reduxes
Yeah.
or re-edits. I forget which one we called it. Alright, so we're getting some force drains here. Joe's, I think, still deciding what he's peeling.
Clash of Sabers off the top.
I think it should be 3 drains altogether, 1 at the system, 2 at the site.
The Jasper, I think.
Looks like Jasper coming after Cornhorn and who is that underneath Cornhorn? Anakin, I believe.
Yeah, that's Anakin.
Corn and Anakin.
So I think Luke is at the other site.
He's activating his sewer text since he now occupies 3 battlegrounds to retrieve Dr. Afra into hand. Dr. Afra is a spy and deploys free at an unoccupied location, so she just hops straight into the JCC, threatening some damage over there.
See, we're recording, but it looks like the stream has paused. Attempting to reconnect.
Anyways, Afra goes to
Yeah, it's still recording.
throne room, and I believe Tom is deciding what to do with her text right now. Probably retrieving a droid into hand, since that's what she seems to do best, but you also have the option of just putting a card on top of your lost pile.
Weird.
So P59 goes to the JCC to back up Afra. She doesn't draw on her own, so a little backup is appreciated. Tom is on 3 battlegrounds now, so he is able to activate his Shadows of the Empire ping if he chooses to do so.
Alright, I think we're back. It looked like the stream might have paused for a moment there due to some internet issue or something, but We are back, and the game was recording the whole time. So if you missed that minute or two, you can always check back on the YouTube here in a couple days, and we'll have that up for you. Sorry about that. Once again, thanks for joining us. We're still here on Game 2 of Worlds Saturday. This is Jerry and Jan here doing commentary. Thanks for being here, all 27 of you. Keep up the chatter if you can. It helps us.
Yeah. So Daro has joined the Jasper, looks like, in the
Okay.
at the uplink station.
Boba Fett Bounty Hunter is going to go used with his maintenance game text.
Yeah, so it looks like we're not getting a battle this turn. Joe's got 3 cards in his hand. Couldn't quite make them out, though. Not sure where we're at here. I think we might be in Tom's draw phase or move phase. Oh, no, we're in Joe's activate phase now, looks like.
Oh, so yeah, Tom just ended his turn. Like you said, after going to the JCC, going
Yep.
to.
Tom ended his turn. We're in Joe's activate phase. Tom activates with wipe, then draws that card with shadows to cause a ping.
Yeah, it's best to do that Shadow Sping in the activate phase, I feel like, before they have any other sort of
On the
options.
opponent's activate phase. During
Yeah.
your turn, if you
Yeah, the
are able to,
opponent's
if you're able to
activate
look at
phase.
your force pile, is the ideal situation when you're flipped. Peek at your force pile and figure out which cards you want, and then do your draw when you have the cards you want on top of your force pile.
I meant
but,
during on the opponent's.
but yes,
the
definitely you're
activate
right on the
phase.
opponent's turn. I think just getting it out of the way, unless you think you might need that force for something, then you can save it. See if it's
As
still
long
there
as
at
you
the end of the
have-
turn.
Yeah, as long as you still have force for it, just doing it early. That way, because in the activate phase, they just don't have they don't have as many cards that they necessarily want to lose. And also, it takes away from the tracking that they maybe have done if you're taking away the cards that they've activated.
Yeah, and especially when you're low on cards like this, like Joe's probably counting. Like I need 8 cards for force to deploy, and I'm going to need 3 left in my reserve deck for Battle Destiny. And you take one of those away, you could
Exactly.
take some of his options out. So Joe is paying for a couple drains here. Drain a 2, drain a 2.
Obi-Wan?
Obi-Wan to the farm.
Cold Feet? Play a defensive shield?
Mm-hmm. Wonder what Joe is hoping to accomplish by putting Obi-Wan on the farm. Maybe neighboring some guys over, like you said, but
Yeah, if one of those cards he has left is his name, does he have much
I
force?
mean, Fett's not there anymore, obviously, so it's just kind of a stack of schmoops.
Now
But
it looks like he's just leaving Obi-Wan there and letting Tom go. So
yeah, but still, those
it's just
guys
a
are more than a
Hoojix.
match for Obi-Wan.
I'm guessing he has a Hoojix
Yeah,
at
you
this
just
point.
block the drain. Maybe if you draw well, you don't have to burn the Hoojix, so you lose 1 card instead of 2 to the
It's
drain.
a lot of characters, though.
Yeah, it is a lot of guys, and I guess it's a battle. Get a card off evac, get one of those cards
Yeah.
back into play, something you can lose.
There's Tracking Us, or Speak. Are the cards still on Justice, or Evac Control? It's going to control the drain at the
The
JCC,
JCC.
and then looks like that control was sensed.
Mm-hmm.
So we're still going to have to peel the
Yep,
3.
so there's 3 to the JCC. You should see 1 damage coming from Coruscant as well. Unless that already happened, then I missed it.
Well, you could, do the 1 damage at space. Dengar.
Dengar is added to the pile of guys at the farm.
I mean, he would need a 6 to hit Obi-Wan.
Yep. I was thinking maybe he was playing him because he was a bounty hunter at a Destiny with IG-88, but he's already got Zam there, so
Yep.
I think Dengar is just icing on the cake.
Yep.
Or maybe he's got a 6 tracked.
Yeah, if he does have a 6 track, then this could be.
Although if you had a 6 track, you'd probably just capture Obi, right? Just Make it done and over with.
You could hit him and make him lose.
Yep. So Joe pulls the tracking us off evac control.
Swing. Should hit whoever was there.
Yep. Yeah, Jodocast is there still too.
Yeah, he's also good to hit. So I don't see him move a card sideways.
Somebody's hit, I'm
Somebody
sure.
got hit, yeah.
So it's like a 5 was the draw for Tom and a 3 for Joe. So Tom's power is going to be somewhere in the ballpark of 20.
Yeah. To 9. So
Yeah,
he's losing
there's a
more
couple
overflow.
More overflow, yeah. And I think we're probably going to see a handshake here pretty soon.
Yeah. I just don't know what Joe could do at this point to bring himself back into this one. He already
Yeah.
he's taken about 20
He's
overflow
got
in
so
this
few
game.
cards left. Yeah, there it is.
There's the handshake. All right, so we got Tom Hade, Victory. Really, that's that huge battle. The 17 overflow on
Yeah, I think
Qui-Gon.
Joe thought he was safe there with Qui-Gon and Lando.
So yeah,
I mean, he also had that control to cancel the Caesar's bounty, so I think his intention was
True.
obviously to initiate an offensive battle and
then when that
do
didn't
some
happen-
damage, and maybe forfeit Qui-Gon, send Lando to use Pile with his maintenance costs or something. So he wasn't actually going to be there for Tom to counterbeat. Maybe was his
Yeah,
plan. I
was
don't know
his-
what he was thinking, obviously, but obviously his intention was an aggressive battle. But
Yeah.
the sense on the control on the Caesar's bounty just kind of ruined that plan and put him into more of a defensive posture.